Hey guys, and welcome to the Wrestling Hideout podcast. We are back with our WrestleMania 40 predictions, which are this weekend. We have 2 nights of wrestling fun. I'm, of course, your host, Rhys, alongside my co host, Liam.
Evening.
And let's break down the WrestleMania match card with our predictions for each match. Shall we start with Saturday, since it makes the most sense?
Go for it.
Alright, we will start with We'll start with the least important matches. And by least important, we'll do the reverse of what's probably going to be the main event. So first up, we have Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominik Mysterio. Who do you think is winning and why?
Skip.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. Probably Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee are winning this one. Rey's just back from injury.
Think for the entire match card, I guarantee that the fans will still be going to their seats during this one.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't like the confirmed layout for the event, so this might be a midway match. But I would assume they would open with something a bit more fast-paced than this match. This does feel like a throwaway match for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, no one really cares. If I'm honest, there's no build-up on this really. No televised build-up, no in social media.
Yeah, if this wasn't on WrestleMania, I probably wouldn't notice it, to be honest. Yeah, it's a filler match. So my guess is Rey and Dragon Lee. I don't know if you feel the same or different, but I can't say I'm excited for this one.
I don't think Rey Mysterio is going to do the big L on a WrestleMania.
No, I would agree. Should we move on?
Please do.
All right. Next up, we have Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control.
I would say that this is the wet dream of the night.
Lovely. Okay.
This is Jade Cargill's first main event after Rumble match, isn't it?
Yes. So this is basically her first proper wrestling match in WWE.
I heard somewhere that they're not happy at all with her backstage, her work ethic, and she's not been making many friends. I don't know if you've heard the same thing.
I haven't, but I haven't really been keeping up with it, honestly.
So, from the best of my knowledge, a lot of people backstage feel that she's still not ready for this. And they've put her with these people because everybody else you've mentioned are seasoned pros.
Yeah, I
who will
mean,
make her look strong.
I think it's very easy to say that Jade, Naomi, and Bianca are winning. Obviously, Jade's first proper match. Naomi's just back in the company. Bianca Belair is like they're one of the top female stars. And honestly,
Yeah.
Damage Control, where do you really go after WrestleMania with them? I'm assuming Kairi Sane will get pinned by Jade Cargill because Kairi Sane seems to lose every single match since she's come back to the company.
I've got a feeling that this might be the last we see of Damage Control. There may be an implosion after this.
I would fully concur. But do you agree that Belair, Naomi, and Cargill are going to be with the winners?
I do, and I also want to point out how far Bianca Belair has fallen, how quickly.
Yeah, I think the
Like,
problem was that she was being so over pushed. She was getting the Charlotte Flair treatment. And now that she's not, it does feel like she's fallen from grace.
yes, I mean, I wouldn't say quite the Charlotte Flair treatment because she hasn't had 1,000 world titles
No, this is
and
true.
drop them the next pay-per-view to Sasha Banks and then wins them back from the next pay-per-view. Although obviously Sasha's not with the company, but anyone who's been watching wrestling for a while, there was a good year-long thing where they were just switching titles every pay-per-view.
Yep.
But no, I see what you're saying. They've taken the foot off the pedal with her. They've lowered the flame a little bit to try and get people to forget how much she was pushed, and then all of a sudden she'll be back in the main event.
Yep.
Because like Rhea Ripley is dominant in the female division, but I could see like Bianca Belair out of all the female wrestlers, she's big, she's strong, she's athletic. She theoretically could be a real challenge to Rhea Ripley.
Yep, I totally agree. Totally agree. Once we get through the Becky saga.
Yes. So what's next?
All right, next up is the match that I think will probably open the show, and that's the 6-team ladder match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We have
Love that
DIY
match.
versus the Awesome Truth versus the New Day versus New Catch Republic versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus the New Day. Now, have you seen all the debate around this match?
My dearest friend, I swear you said the New Day twice.
New Day and New Catch Republic.
Okay, all right. I haven't. Please enlighten.
So the phrasing is that to win for the match to end, both the Raw tag team titles and the SmackDown tag team titles need to be gotten. So it seemingly feels like they are going to be splitting their titles up here with 2 different teams winning this match.
I would think that would probably be the sensible way to go, because they've had undisputed tag team title now for over a year.
For too long.
Over a year, too long. I mean, wasn't it the Usos had it, and then it was Kevin and Sami, and then it was the Judgment Day, then Kevin and Sami, then the Judgment Day. Yeah, so it's been a while. I think they need to separate the belts because the rosters are too full of tag teams to just have one title.
Nope, I agree. So, we won't break it down to who do we think's winning the Raw or the SmackDowns, because it wouldn't surprise me if you had a Raw team win the SmackDown titles and then jump over to SmackDown, that type of thing. What teams do you think are winning?
I want the New Day to win another title belt because they're great, and I think they've been on the back pedal for quite a while and they've not been around. But people forget that the New Day and then the Usos, well, between the two of them, they ran that title division for 3 to 5 years, was it? Between the two of them?
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say the New Day would, and I think a Raw, as you said, a Raw is going to go to SmackDown and a SmackDown is going to go to Raw. I'm going to pick the New Day to win the opposite to what they're on. And what's yours?
My guesses are we are going to have.
Sorry to interrupt you. I would love the Awesome Truth to win it because those two together are just pure idiotic fun.
Yeah, honestly, part of me feels like that the way they will accidentally, in quotations, split the titles is the Awesome Truth or R-Truth somehow accidentally winning one set of titles. So I wouldn't rule that out, honestly. I think that would be the perfect way of doing it. But I also do think that we'll probably see DIY, so Ciampa and Gargano, win a title, because they're NXT Triple H guys, and I think it makes sense for them to. And I really think we're going to see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller win, and I hate to say that, but
I hate Grayson Waller. I really can't stand him.
I don't like either of them, but I could just see them coming out with a title. So that's my
quick
pick.
trivia thing.
Yep.
When do you think R-Truth debuted for WWE?
Originally,
not as the character, as the actual wrestler behind the mask.
2000.
99.
Was it 99? Damn it, I knew it was close. Because he was K-Quick.
Attitude K-Quick, yeah.
Yep.
He used to go down the ring with Road Dogg at one point.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah. He used to rap and nobody used to like him. Ron Killings, as he's known, he's got to be one of the oldest people in the locker room. How has Ron Killings been under contract with WWE since 2008?
Well, apparently him and Vince are good friends.
Yeah, that means his next contract's not getting renewed.
The scary thing is,
I did hear somewhere that Vince found him absolutely hilarious.
Yep. The thing is, though, a lot of people, especially the younger people, will know like R-Truth as the comedy guy. But if you look at like early TNA, he was a top level. Yeah, he was a top level heel. He would do whatever it took to win. He would beat people to a pulp.
He was a good one. I can't get over the little Jimmy gimmick.
Oh, yep.
The one where they had Triple H come out and then he was talking to somebody. Wasn't he the guy that throw a drink at somebody, and that's how it all started.
Oh, I sort of dropped off of WWE during this time because it was so
So
rough.
do you realise that he main evented a pay-per-view with John Cena for the world title during the Authority era?
It was Capital Punishment, wasn't it? It was a tables match or something.
Yes, just before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think out of all the pay-per-views I've ever seen, that was the one where I was most confident going, yeah, he ain't going to win.
Well, you also had the Awesome Truth versus Cena and Rock at Survivor Series. It was Rock's first match
Yeah,
back before.
yes. That was the one where they got suspended and everything, and they were
Yeah.
like trying to be manic crazy. Yeah, I remember. God, the Miz has been around for yonks as well, hasn't he? 2003?
Yeah, like 3, 4, 5, something like that.
Because he famously got banned by Vacant from the locker room for eating chicken. And
Yep. What a story.
anyway, let's move on to the next match. Let's get to the meat of the night.
All right, well, it's now brother versus brother. We have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, and honestly, I think there's only one winner, and it has to be Jey.
Yeet.
I can't believe that's gone over as a phrase.
I find it funny the other one has a shirt that says no yeet. That's quite clever.
That's how you get that merch money.
I have a feeling that after this match, you're going to see the Uso brothers united again.
Me too, because I don't think this is going to be a match that has any interference, because I don't think the Bloodline are going to deem Jimmy worthy of helping out when they've got the tag match that night.
They really, really, really dropped the ball on that feud.
Yep.
They really dropped the ball. They had him pin Roman Reigns. I remember watching that. I think I was watching it at the same time as you, and we were talking, and that was amazing.
Yep.
They had the brothers beat Roman Reigns and Solo. I thought, you thought, everybody thought maybe it's coming to an end. And then they had brother interfere against brother. But yeah, I think it's gonna come to the end. You're right. I think Jay's gonna win it. I think Jay's gonna put his hand out. He's gonna embrace his brother, and then there's gonna be all lovey-dovey.
Yep, I agree.
Maybe I would like to see Rikishi show up at WrestleMania to kick the boys together. I'd love that.
That's not a bad shout, actually. I can see that happening.
Oh, Rikishi, yeah. Like, honestly, what a guy. He'd been around for yonks as well. Before Rikishi was Rikishi, he was in WWF at the time. But, like, there's a guy who also main evented pay-per-views. He had that Hell in a Cell where he went off the top into the hay, wood chips or something. I did it for The Rock. Good storyline, bad ending.
Yep.
Bad ending.
Austin just murders him.
Yeah, like that wasn't a proper match, was it? That was literally just 10 minutes of him getting mullered.
Yep.
Now that's a phrase I haven't heard since I was a teenager. I'm going to muller you. But yeah, I've got a feeling. I'm going to put that out on a limb and say Rikishi's going to show up at WrestleMania to unite his children.
Honestly, I think I can see that happening, and you kind of talked me into it. I think that's not a bash at all, because that'd also be a very good, like, crowd reaction moment.
Like, I know this is going to be the over-ending story of the whole night, but I don't think there's going to be a bloodline post-WrestleMania.
I hope there isn't, but we also all thought that Cody was winning last year, so I don't want to rule anything out.
Fair enough. Okay, what's the next match then?
Alright, so I'm going to skip the next one on the list and we're going to jump to the women's match because there's one match here that I think we're going to disagree on. But first, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. Who do you think and why?
Liv Morgan because she's hot.
You know what? I love Becky Lynch. I think she's great. I'm kind of bored of seeing her.
She's not beating Rhea. She's not beating Rhea.
No, Rhea has to win this, and I think Liv should be the one to dethrone Rhea.
I think Rhea's going to be given this because of what happened to Rhea with Charlotte.
Yep.
Because that was the wrong call as well. I've heard that her contract's up and she may be looking for some time off to look after her son, a child, I mean.
Yes, I've heard it's about 2 months left on her contract.
I love Rhea Ripley. I'm I'm as much in love with Rhea Ripley as I've ever been with a female wrestler. I just wish there was slightly less makeup. Um, she could realistically fight a mid card male wrestler and win. I think she's that talented.
Yep.
Becky Lynch was great as the man in that moment, but I don't think she's as good as Rhea Ripley. And she's had so many moments. Yes, Rhea's had the title for ages, but she's not had marquee matches. I swear she was fighting Natalia every pay-per-view at one point.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
And
much.
that's nothing against Natalia. I like Natalia, but she's not main event. Top, not now, not top main event.
No.
I think Rhea's going to destroy her, and I think that's going to be the last time we see Becky for a while.
So there's a few things I agree with you. I think Rhea's winning, but I do think it's gonna be slightly different. I To argue any points, I actually think Becky Lynch is a much better wrestler than Rhea Ripley. I'm so bored of seeing her because you never see her in a small feud elevating people. She's always either in a fantasy feud like the Trish one, or she's in a title match. There's no in between.
Imagine if Trish Stratus shows up and costs her the match.
God.
Sorry.
Oh, I could imagine it. I'd rather shoot myself. I
I'm
think
going to disagree with you again really strongly. I don't think she's a better wrestler than Rhea. I don't think Rhea's had the chance post NXT to really show herself as good as she could be. But pedantics, we're allowed to disagree.
yeah, no, I'd agree. I would agree that I don't think she's shown her full potential. I just don't think she's as good a wrestler as Becky. But I would rather Rhea Ripley win this match in every universe known to man than Becky Lynch, to be honest, because I think it's time, much like Seth, I think it's time they go away.
I'm not the only person on the internet, on the forums, on the chat rooms, on the podcast that have said this match should have been given to Liv.
I think an ideal situation is Rhea beats Becky, and then Liv and Becky have a feud, which Liv wins, and then Liv faces Rhea, and finally wins a proper title from Rhea Ripley. That's how this should go. Knowing our luck, Becky Lynch is going to walk out with the championship and then feud with, I don't know, Jade Cargill for 3 months, and
Oh, we
that.
need to keep Jade Cargill away for the world title picture for the next year. She's not ready.
All right, well, the match that I think we're going to disagree on: Sami Zayn versus Gunther.
I want Sami Zayn to win, but Gunther's walking out.
Interesting. So I thought we were going to disagree here because I think Gunther's walking out, and I want Gunther to walk out of it.
I know what you thought I was going to say, but I know that they have ruined Sami Zayn, and basically, I was listening to a podcast from Eric Bischoff, I believe it was recently, that said they've completely killed him, and he will never get that to the heights that he was at. I love Sami Zayn's character, but realistically, he's not the right person to beat Gunther on the run Gunther's been on. You
No.
need somebody serious to beat Gunther. I reckon you need an ex-world champion to beat Gunther.
Yeah, I think you even need Chad Gable because the fans have accepted him as being the guy who should do it.
He beaten him like 3 times. I swear he's beaten him like 3 times, but like via count out, via
Yeah.
disqualification and that sort of thing. Chad Gable should have been Kurt Angle 0.20.
Nope, totally agree. I mean, I think in my ideal situation, Gunther just shouldn't lose the title. He should just give it up and get the main title. That I've said this to you before, like that. I still strongly think that.
Didn't they do that with very badly? But they did that with Ultimate Warrior and Hogan. Ultimate Warrior did drop the belt. He won the world title, and then the Intercontinental was kind of like quietly dropped by him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was vacated. I mean, they did the same with Kane and Triple H. Remember, Triple H won the Intercontinental title, and then it disappeared for 7 odd months.
Yeah, that's we can't talk about that now. That's a whole other subject.
That is a whole other subject. We'll cover that at some point.
I think Sami will fight valiantly. Sami will fight bravely. Sami will be Sami Zayn, but in the end, Gunther's just too powerful. I think Gunther's going to flip him. murder him.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be akin to Gunther versus Sheamus, where Gunther just beats the piss out of him until Sami can't stand up, and that should be it.
That might take a while with Sami Zayn's heart.
Yeah. Well,
Sami Zayn is a character who should have won a world title, really.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if you ever get the chance to watch a match where Sami Zayn's wrestling skills are on display, I would watch Shinsuke versus Sami, two of the wrestlers that have been poorly utilized by WWE Wrestle.
But as soon as you started saying it, that was the first match that came into my head because that match was phenomenal.
Sami Zayn would have been a world title holder in Japan by now, or Mexico. It's just WWE.
Yep, pretty much.
It's not like he's liked he's not disliked by corporate. He's had his problems because of his heritage with certain things, including the Saudi thing, and obviously now with that stuff going on in the world, which we don't need to talk about, but people know about. That shouldn't take into account his wrestling, but again,
it's all politics.
It'd be brave for WWE to put a title on him now.
Nope, for sure. Well, the final match of Saturday, we have Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins versus The Rock and Roman Reigns, and there's only one winner here, surely.
Cody and Seth. Why is the main event of night one not the World Heavyweight Championship? That's me hitting a table. Why have they done this? They have basically stripped the World Heavyweight Championship, meaning fuck all, by taking it off WrestleMania Night 1 main event. They wouldn't have done that if Punk hadn't been injured. They wouldn't have done it. They'd have made that the night. They'd have made that. Whatever Eric Bischoff says, Punk has moved the needle, and they wouldn't have done it to him.
No, there's no reason for Rollins to be in this match. I know he's got the history of Roman, but
it's stupid.
Yeah,
this is Rock Johnson pulling politics behind the scenes. I don't think the fans want this to be the main event. I'm going to tell you right now, Roman's going to walk out with The Rock as winners. They're both, Sami and Cody, are going to be left bloody in the ring as a foreshadowing for the next night. Your views?
Nope, I agree. The only thing I would say is, if they were going to do this match, fine, whatever. But why not have Bayley's women's title match be on this event, on this night? Because she won the Rumble. Why are you going to squash that in with two World Heavyweight title matches on a Sunday night?
Are they charging more for Sunday?
No, same price.
So they've got three of the four world titles on a Sunday.
Yep.
Are you sure Vince McMahon isn't really running the show still?
It makes no sense to me. There's no reason for Seth to be in this feud. There's no reason for both shows to essentially have the same type of main event. Like, the whole point of WrestleMania being 2 nights was it to be different nights. And yet we've got the same 4 people appearing on both nights. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Back. I know it was WrestleMania over one night back in the day. I'm pretty sure towards the end, the last 2 years, they opened the show with the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So they're treating it like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, you're right. The Rock ain't gonna lose. Come on. If The Rock takes the 1, 2, 3, I will go back and work for my previous employer.
If The Rock takes a pinfall in this match, I will let you defecate in my mouth and I will swallow it whole.
What, with my IBS?
Yep.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I will make sure I drink 5 coffees in the morning, followed by 5 Budweisers and a load of olives.
Because The Rock is not... I'd be surprised if The Rock gets beat up in this match, honestly.
I'll be surprised if The Rock even gets to the ring in this match.
Well, considering he was late... Did you see the WWE World thing yesterday where he was late to his event?
I did.
So, all jokes aside, let's touch wood that he does show up on time.
Yeah, well, you're in trouble.
Yeah, could you imagine?
I'm waiting for somebody to bring this up in the comments if they don't win.
Oh well, we want video evidence of Rhys swallowing your runny poop. Ha ha ha
Let's move on to night two before I feel ill.
ha. Okay, so
Reading something online to do with The Rock. Apparently, The Rock has been having mock matches with NXT Gallius faction.
mhm. Yep. So Gallus is it's a British faction, so it's three Scottish people, I believe.
Wolfgang, so Joe Coffey and Mark Coffey, right?
Yep.
So he's actually, that's interesting. Michael Hayes and Bobby Roode were also in there to supervise the training sessions with referee Chad Patton.
So yeah, apparently he's been
Wow.
working hard, but I
But
don't.
he'll get gassed or injured within 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't see this. Apparently, the rumor is that this is gonna be a long match. I don't see this going long because three out of the four guys are working the next night. The Rock hasn't wrestled for what, 10 years? Roman Reigns wrestles once every 6 months, if we're lucky.
His last televised match was against Cena at WrestleMania when did he like tear a muscle off the tricep or something? Tear a muscle
I,
off his back.
I'm not entirely sure, but I don't see this match going 20 minutes. I think this would be like a 15-minute match.
I'm going for 8 minutes. And I'm genuinely going to The Rock to be injured.
Yeah, I think the entrances for this match will probably last the same in length, or if not more, than the actual match. That's my prediction.
Oh,
Because you know The Rock is getting a special entrance for it being WrestleMania.
nepotism to the extreme with him at the moment. They appoint him to the board and then all of a sudden he's involved in everything.
Well, night two, we have a
Oh,
Philadelphia street fight.
sorry. Actually, do you see The Rock and Roman having a falling out during this match or towards the end and shoving and pushing, with Paul Heyman trying to separate them? I see that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The one good thing about this
It built
match,
victory for night two.
yeah, the one good thing about this match is you don't know what route they're going to take. Are The Rock and Roman going to fall out? Is everything going to be fine on The Rock turns on Roman at the end? Like, does The Rock help Roman win and then demand a title match? Blah, 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 blah. I think the only thing that's for sure in this match is that The Rock and Roman are winning.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree. Right then, night two. Shoot.
Night two, we have a Philadelphia street fight. We've got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
This match could be
Like
fun.
Like, what's happened to Bobby Lashley?
I mean, what's happened to the Street Profits? They basically took over from the New Day and Usos as being like the top team, and now they're in a Philadelphia street fight against the Final Testament.
They don't give out free pancakes, and they don't get arrested every other week for DUIs. So,
This is true. They love God too much.
and one of them hasn't slept with a certain AEW wrestler on camera.
This is also true. Well, yeah,
You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I think everyone watching knows what you're talking about. Honestly, I don't
Um,
know why this match is on
I
WrestleMania.
see Bobby Lashley going through everybody, the almighty bang, 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 bosh, standing on top of everybody.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you've also got the Final Testament, who is carrying Cross, who is another one of Triple H's guys, who they've been trying to build up.
Fucking like talk about. I mean, he must be on his last chance now.
I mean, the thing he has a great look, and he looks like he'll murder you in your sleep. The shit they're giving him to work with is just terrible.
What's the name of the woman that was accompanying him?
Scarlet.
Scarlett. Is she still with him or is she gone?
No, she's still there as well.
Karrion Kross. I think they were trying to build him up, weren't they, to be a world champion, but it never worked because who was it? Who was it that they had him fighting at one point, and it got silly.
He was in NXT. He was their NXT champion, and if you remember, they brought him up to.
They pulled him up, and then they tried to match him with like a really top star, and it was just obvious that he wasn't on the level.
It was AJ Styles.
Come on, AJ Styles, once in a generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a throwaway match. I honestly haven't taken enough interest in this feud to even know who could be winning. Lashley should win because it's Lashley. The Film Testament need to win if you want to give them credibility. I don't really know. Honestly, I don't really care.
Lashley, he's gone from shaving Vince McMahon's head to being a multiple-time champion, beating Brock Lesnar to this.
Yep. It's all fun
Wasn't
and
he in?
game.
I remember him in Impact, as it was at the time as well. He was the Impact at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah, him and Alberto Del Rio having that like 12-month feud.
Alberto Del Rio. Whatever happened to that guy?
He's been like blackballed from wrestling for threatening to beat up Paige.
Are we talking about Alberto? I'm talking about the ring announcer.
Oh, he's in I want to say MLW now.
That was what was good about him. That ring announcer. They had a Royal Rumble where, what year was it? Where the ring announcer went in and he drove in a banger and he went in underpants that were stained. Honestly, it's so funny. I'll show you the clip. They had him drive to the ring with Alberto Del Rio's music in a broken down car in stained underpants.
Oh, I'll have to see this. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. Yeah. He was a bit like that other guy. Oh, Umaga had his own announcer, didn't he? That went on to be ECW general manager.
Oh, Armando Estrada.
Anyway, we're digressing, yeah. But yeah, like Bobby Lashley, what's happened to him? Karrion Kross, wasted potential. Street Profits disappeared from the main event scene. I think the problem with the tag division at the moment is been so inundated with like Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, and then Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle and Randy Orton. There's been single stars in the main events of a lot of the team. Like even with like the New Day, 2 of the New Day have been world champions. I know one's permanently injured, but he's an honorary member. Xavier Woods has been fighting for the US title.
King of the Ring.
King of the Ring. God, King of the Ring. They need to take that seriously. Like tag teams like those guys have, they've just gone down and down the roster because people want to see the big stars.
Yep. It's a big fall from grace. But talking of big stars, next up we have LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
They've ruined him. They've absolutely ruined him. He will be possibly the biggest person they've ever ruined, LA Knight.
So do you remember when I said to you they're going to ruin LA Knight? And you're like, there's no way they can do that.
Yeah, but I'm talking to the guy who promised me on his soul that CM Punk would never come back to WWE.
This is true.
And CM Punk would never go back to AEW after the first time. It's not really such a big, like, for LA Knight, this is a WrestleMania against AJ Styles. Yeah. Now, that's not a bad match, considering AJ Styles. In fact, they're both ex-TNA champions, aren't they? Considering AJ Styles is considered one of the best ever, let alone his own generation. But think about it. LA Knight was in the World Championship picture a couple of months ago, and he doesn't have the legacy of AJ Styles to fall back on. I see LA Knight going over I see LA Knight winning, but going nowhere.
Yeah, I think the problem here is AJ Styles and LA Knight are a circumstance of, number one, Roman Reigns basically holding the title hostage. Number two, Triple H being so obsessed with Seth Rollins that no one touches the title from him. And then having your other title tied up in a part-time celebrity, I guess.
AJ Styles was world champion. He's been 2 times world champion with WWE. He held one of them, but he held it once for like 200 days, and the second time he held it for a full year. Now, hear me out. I don't remember anybody complaining that AJ Styles had been a champion for a year. No. I don't remember it. I don't remember one person complaining about it. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has been champion since I was in puberty. That's a joke. I'm in my late 30s. And Seth Rollins, this is the new fresh title that will be defended every week, and not the Roman Reigns. He's held it for over 330 days.
Yeah, and he's probably defended it against 6 different people, if that.
He's had some feuds that I don't understand.
Shinsuke, Jinder.
I love Shinsuke Nakamura, and I think that the whole anime thing Shinsuke was doing was really well. Unfortunately, I couldn't see Shinsuke beating him. Jinder Mahal, what?
Yeah.
What? I don't like Tony Khan. I think Tony Khan's a terrible booker, but Tony Khan did have a small point with his comeback on that. Like what? I do believe that he had a long-standing feud that he was defending it against the same person night in and night out, house shows and everything, wasn't he? Oh,
Okay, so I have a list here. How many times do you think Seth Rollins has defended that title?
I think it's between 20 and 30.
What if I told you it was 12?
Compare that to Roman Reigns, and that's the problem. He is technically the person defending the title.
Yeah. Would you like to know the list of people he is defending?
Like, seriously, we had a conversation about Mark Henry's Hall of Pain last year. He held the title for like 88 days and defended it 27 times.
Yep.
Or something like that. They're trying to turn it into UFC, aren't they?
Oh, for sure.
Go on then. Who's he defended the title against? Jinder Mahal. Drew McIntyre. Has he done it against Drew McIntyre yet? Yes, he has.
Yep, twice.
Twice. So so has he beat AJ Styles for the title, so that doesn't count, does it? Who's left?
Damian Priest. Bron Breakker.
Oh,
Finn Balor.
yeah. Oh,
Nakamura.
yeah.
Jey Uso. That's it.
Really? At this point in time, I would say that Roman's few title defenses are better than that.
He's not defended it on a main pay-per-view since November.
Yeah, so hang on a second. Isn't he the one that goes on TV and says, I defend this title night in and night out, unlike the other guy?
Yep. His last pay-per-view defense was Crown Jewel 2023, which is November.
Is he defending it technically on house shows? Do WWE even have house shows anymore?
So, it doesn't show me about house shows, but what I can tell you is he has defended it the same amount of times on pay-per-view as he has on Raw.
Yeah.
5 apiece.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Why has nobody brought this up to like one of the bigger wrestling podcasts? Oh, they probably have, to be honest.
Yeah.
This ain't good. This ain't good. In fact, is this a common thing across all of the titles at the moment?
I don't know. Let me check Gunther. Because honestly, yeah, this is pretty appalling.
I don't even think the US title's ever mentioned half the time anymore.
I mean, has Austin Theory defended it at all?
If I'm honest with you, I couldn't even remember who the bloody title winner was.
Well, there you go.
I've given up. Like, I've given up caring about the US title. I really have, which is such a shame because of its legacy.
Yep. No, Gunther's been defending his very, very regularly.
If Cody, we'll get to that later. I've got something to add later.
Oh, I can't.
Okay. Where were we?
We were talking about the lovely LA Knight versus AJ Styles match, and I think we agree LA Knight's probably taking it. But
this is going to be LA Knight's big win. This is going to be his big career win.
Yep. But our conversation about titles does lead nicely into Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the US title.
My heart says Kevin Owens. My brain says Logan Paul.
Yeah, I think Logan Paul's winning it because of the Prime sponsorship, honestly.
Randy Orton's got to the point now where he's in a bit. Well, he's more decorated than Shawn Michaels was, I believe, but he's in the Shawn Michaels position
Yeah.
where he doesn't need to win titles. He probably doesn't want to win titles. I mean, what is he, a 13-time world champion? In the days that it was actually defended.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, it wasn't it. Randy Orton, John Cena, Randy Orton, John Cena, Randy Orton, John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, John Cena at one point.
Oh, something appalling, yeah.
Because I know when they did the brand split, it was like that to an extent. No, it was Triple H and Randy Orton are the ones who had a lot of. But those two worked well together. I have to be honest. They complemented each other's styles.
They did draw that.
Do you remember
though.
when? Do you remember when Triple H broke into Randy Orton's obviously fake house with his actual not wife? Do you remember all that?
Oh, the home invasion, yep.
And he handcuffed Stephanie McMahon to the ring, kissed her, and as he kissed her, he left spittle running between their mouth.
Yeah, I remember. So grim.
Can I just put in something yet? Stephanie McMahon is still really fit now.
Yep, agreed.
Going forward, can't see Logan Paul dropping the title, although if he's ever going to drop the title, it will be at WrestleMania to Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I think Logan's going to win it, honestly.
Yeah. Another celebrity holding it. Although, this is the problem with Logan Paul. He has no right to be as good as he is in the ring. And I'm sorry, I know we both dislike him, but he is good in the ring.
He is, and it'd be fine if he wasn't such a piece of shit. And if
Isn't his brother Mike Tyson?
yeah, a man who couldn't walk without a walking stick like 2 years ago, so that's promising.
Yeah, so without going too much over, definitely Logan Paul.
Yep. Okay, next up, WWE Women's Championship match, which I think has criminally misplaced and underrated because she won the
Bayley's
Royal
going to win.
Rumble. Bayley has to win, surely.
She's going to turn face.
Like Bayley has
She hasn't been face for what, 5 years, 6 years?
something like that, since she popped the balloons.
The Bayley thing.
Yeah.
Bayley is criminally underrated. Bayley is probably, I'm going to say something really controversial now. I think Bayley's the best wrestler of that batch. She hasn't been given the time, not the time. She hasn't been given the spotlight like the others from that batch of wrestlers. I think she'd probably be around the longest as well.
Yep.
She's great. She's great in the ring. She's great to look at. Not trying to be sexist, and I mean that from a professional point of view, not a perv point of view. I'm honest. She's great to look at. She's great in the ring. She's good on the mic.
The NXT matches her and Sasha Banks had were probably some of my favorite matches of all time.
And I have to be honest, I think she's been brilliant as a heel.
Yep.
But we need to hug her back for a while at least.
If her entrance at WrestleMania is the Bayley Buddies back as she's walking down, the pop she is gonna get is gonna be insane.
I've heard somewhere that they're hinting that Paramore might be singing her down to the ring, or that's what she wants.
I did hear something about this. And like everyone's gonna, I think a lot of people are gonna want Io Sky to win this match because I think she's arguably one of the best wrestlers on the planet, male or female. She's so good. But Bayley should be winning this. And plus, Io's only like 29. Io can wrestle for another 10 years. Bayley needs a big spotlight to really cement them.
She's not old.
No, I think Bayley's mid-30s. But like, Io Sky can be a multiple-time women's champion. There's no issues with that. This moment should go to Bayley.
Bayley is 34. Yeah, no, I agree. Let's have a look.
I believe Io Sky's like 28, 29.
She's Hispanic, isn't she, Bayley? Like Sasha?
I think so.
Not Sasha's Hispanic, is she? Sorry. She is Hispanic, isn't she? She debuted in 2008. I have to be honest, for a female wrestler, she's been going around for she's been around for a while. Do you remember back in the old days, female wrestlers only wrestled for like 4 or 5 years and then retired?
Yep.
She won the women's NXT title in 2015. She's held the Raw, the SmackDown. She's basically held everything. She's won the Money in the Bank ladder match. She's won the Royal Rumble in a record 1 hour. That's a lot in a Rumble. I was going to say, if she comes down in her old ring attire, you know, the pants, the orange and blue pants,
the headband
with the star, the hairband, and the dangly things.
Yep.
The pop's going to be massive. Although I do like her current trunks, you know, with the they're showing slightly too much stuff. But I'm just being a perv again.
No surprise there. Well,
I'm sure she's used to it.
Let's perv over a big, sexy Scottish man. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre.
How good has Drew McIntyre been recently?
You know what?
How absolutely hilarious has he been?
I said to you probably, 6 months ago? I think Drew McIntyre is really boring. I cannot stand him. I wouldn't mind if he left the company. I generally think he's one of the best things on Raw right now.
I think, and they must have done this with CM Punk's blessing. They wouldn't have done it. This whole "I injured CM Punk" thing with the T-shirt and him being fined like 300 grand for that a night is just hilarious.
Yep.
Did you see the promo thing he did where he has a coffin and he buries it because it's CM Punk's career and everything? Yep. It's fucking brilliant.
Drew has to win this match.
He deserves it. Yep. It's criminal that it's not main event. He won the pandemic WrestleMania with no fans in attendance. That was even before they had the screens up, wasn't it? It was when it was just the wrestlers and event staff in the building. I think he held it all the way through the pandemic and dropped it just before the fans came back.
Something like that, because if you remember, technically the WrestleMania main event is Drew McIntyre versus Big Show.
Is it?
If you remember, they did Drew versus Brock, and then they had the Big Show come out on the Raw the next night from the previous night of WrestleMania and challenge for the belt. The pandemic era was wild.
He held it twice during the pandemic era, didn't he?
I think so, because then you had the awful Hell in a Cell match where he's like coughing up blood and all sorts of crap. We are going to have to do a podcast about the pandemic.
I'm still waiting for Heath Slater to win the world title.
Well, my man's left TNA now, so never say never.
Because him and we need to do a 3MB podcast.
Yep.
I swear they gave Drew McIntyre the title, so Jinder Mahal wouldn't be the only person from 3MB to have held it.
Oh man, the Jinder experiment, what could have been?
But no, he held it for fucking 9 months or something, didn't he? Stupid crazy. Like that. And then dropped it at a house show in England.
It was a SmackDown in England because they leaked the results all over Twitter. It was like one of the most watched shows in like months because people were so excited to see Jinder lose the title.
Well, they did it to try and get fans in India, let's be honest, and it didn't work.
No.
So yeah, and Punk's on commentary or refereeing, I'm not quite sure.
I think
which will be really interesting. He will be involved in the finish.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not quite sure whether his arm's actually as injured as it is, because that'd be a brilliant thing if it wasn't. Whether he'll take off the cast or something. I see Drew holding it, then dropping it to Punk when Punk's back.
My big fear with this match is there's no reports saying that Drew has signed a new contract. But there's been multiple reports for ages now saying that Drew's contract runs out a few months after WrestleMania, and I'm so worried we're going to see Seth Rollins win the title and hold it until Punk's fit enough to wrestle. That's a legitimate concern I have.
Drew needs to win this world title for his own legacy, and maybe that's the way they can hold on to him if they give him the world title.
I mean, not only does Drew need to win this for his own legacy, I think Drew needs to win this so this bloody title has some sort of change in it.
And would
Because,
you agree that Seth Rollins needs to go away for a while as well?
yes. Yes, I
Get
agree.
rid of.
He's a
Oh, God.
fantastic wrestler, and he is definitely a good talker, and he is a main event like wrestler. But I
He's not the
don't.
right person right now for this title.
Yeah, sometimes you need to know when to let it go, and now's one of those times. This would be like if Austin held the world title for a year straight.
Interestingly enough, that sort of thing never happened in that era.
Nope.
And people used to drop belts on random pay-per-views and on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I do believe Austin's longest title reign, maybe 100 and something days. Same with The Rock. It's not long.
We can find out. Austin's Oh my god, Austin's longest title reign. Guess how many days? 175 days. That's only 6 months.
That was, yeah, but that's not that. That's long for that era.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, what's The Rock's then?
Let's find out.
Here we go. Well, I can tell you this right now. All 8 of his world championships together were 367 days.
And The Rock's one of the top wrestlers in the world, and that's how long he held it for.
I'm just giving that to example. Edge. Without going into it, I know that Edge is similar. I think Edge is listed title reign like 110 days.
Yep.
I know that he dropped the US. He dropped the WWE title to Cena both times very quickly. Hang on a second, I've got it. His longest title reign is 105 days.
There you go. If we go back a little bit earlier, and we think about like the mid to early 90s, I would say, in my opinion, Shawn Michaels is him and Bret Hart, the two champions you remember as being like those were the guys of the like pre-Attitude Era, right?
Well, you got Diesel as well.
Yeah, fuck Diesel. Shawn Michaels'
Yeah, but
longest
he held
title
the
reign.
fucking belt for a year. You can't say fuck Diesel.
No, we
He
don't
held the
count.
belt for a year.
We don't count Diesel because it was a bad title reign and it unproves our point.
Wasn't he the lowest grossing? Wasn't he? Didn't he nearly kill the company?
Something like that. Shawn Michaels held the title, longest reign, 231 days. In the mid 90s, where long title reigns were the thing.
Yeah, but how many times did he defend that title? 50? 60?
Yeah, exactly. Every In Your House, every pay-per-view.
We are very much digressing.
We are, because the worry is that Seth's going to leave with the title, but he shouldn't do. Drew should win it. We got to have some hope that they do the right thing.
I'm more confident Drew's going to walk out than I am in the main event.
I would agree, yeah. Which, speaking of which, is The Rock versus... No, it's not. It's Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
With The Rock interfering. There we go. That's what you're looking for.
The Rock's been so in this feud and so on top of this feud that my mind just instantly assumed he was in the match and he's not.
Absolutely. I forgot Roman Reigns was in the world title. I really did. Like, it's weird. Like, he's completely gone into the background of this.
Yeah, I don't get it.
They should give the title to Cody to finish his story.
Yep.
I could see them not giving him the title and him being like his dad, never winning the big one.
Yeah, I mean, I sent you the news the other day about how Cody found out he was losing last match.
Yeah.
When he was told not to kick out the pinfall. Like, if you leave it that late in the event.
His brother still under active contract with the competition.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's no chance. Yeah, there's no chance of an appearance from him.
Well, it depends if they want to give Tony Khan 6 or to 7 million.
Yeah.
He'd say no anyway.
Yeah, of course he would. No, you can't have it, and no, you're not having Dustin.
My heart says Cody's going to walk out because The Rock or Paul Heyman do something. My head says that Cody's going to be an inch away from winning the title, and then he's just going to get interfered out of it again.
My big concern is Cody does not leave that title. My other big concern is if Roman Reigns wins that match somehow, Philadelphia
Is going to riot.
Yeah, they are gonna be pissed.
They're in the wrong fucking town to mess around with, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Because that's the old school country.
It's not Florida, it's not anywhere like that, it's Philadelphia.
So I could see something like if the Punk wasn't injured, I could see him getting involved. I could see Rikishi getting involved. Yep. Usos. I'm fantasy booking a mass brawl at ringside.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Triple H and The Rock arguing at ringside. Now I don't know how physical Triple H can get now.
I don't think he can at all. He's got a pacemaker, hasn't he?
If he hadn't been injured like that, I could see those two brawling at the out. I'm fancy booking an amazing match here. I can see The Rock interfering to do something, and I can see Triple H overturning the result. Or something like that.
That would make Triple H the biggest babyface in the company.
Yeah. Well, technically, he runs the show, doesn't he? This is my point. Yeah, The Rock's on the board of directors, but he doesn't have day-to-day control over the company, does he?
Not yet, but I could see him worming his way into it.
Ariel Emanuel has very clearly stated that Triple H, Paul Levesque, has got control over day-to-day running of the company currently.
Yeah, currently.
Lawsuit pending. I can see it not being a clean 1-2-3 with nothing else happening. If Cody wins, we ain't going to see Roman for a full calendar year.
I hope.
There won't be any. He'll go away and he'll come back, and people appreciate the fact he's gone away and come back because he ain't. No, like Roman Reigns is great at what he does. It's just too long now. It's gone on for a year too long. What's he been champion for? 4 years now?
He won it during the pandemic, didn't he?
No.
I think so, because he returned during the pandemic, because he speared Bray Wyatt.
Oh, did he win the title off Bray Wyatt? Oh, yeah, because he held one and then the other, didn't he? Yes.
Yeah, and then he beat Lesnar for the other one, I think
Bray Wyatt. He beat Lesnar for the other. Then Lesnar... Hang on, did he beat Lesnar, then Lesnar beat him back? No, hang on. That's the Bobby Lashley thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shit. He's held the title... Hang on, let's have a look.
He's held the title since 2020.
Are you joking me?
August 30th, 2020.
We're in... Like, he's got to be like number 2 or 3 in the world in the longest reigning now.
He's held that Universal title for 1,313 days.
I'm reading something called from Wrestling News. Have you ever heard of it?
Yep.
Roman Reigns to take... Well, nobody's going to fucking know the difference if he... oh no. Guess who they're quoting?
Who?
Who else do you think they're quoting that nobody can take seriously these days?
Bischoff? Meltzer?
Uncle Dave.
Uncle Dave.
I don't think anyone believes Roman will retire with a loss, and WWE has taught fans not to believe that. But given his schedule, it's probable he'll take some time off. Given his limited schedule, no one would expect him to show up again as yet unannounced, the Saudi Arabia show or SummerSlam. So you're looking at he could disappear and come back in May or August. I don't think they should ever give him a world championship again. He doesn't need it.
No,
Six times.
He has held
that
title.
They need to block his golden belt as well. They need to get rid of that fucking golden belt.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad.
The thing is, the first year at least, and then even the second year, he was defending it quite a bit, especially that first year. And then it's just got less and less and less. And I'm wondering whether that's because what he wants or that's what they want.
Well, I've got the title reigns here. So he won it in August. So he won it in the 8th month of the year. And by the end of 2020, he had defended it 6 times. So he defended it 6 times in 6 months. And then
was that versus Kevin Owens? Because they were I swear to God, his best matches were against Kevin Owens.
No, this was, well, yes and no. This is the tail end of the Owens, or sorry, the start of the Owens feud, but this is the Jey Uso feud with the Hell in the Cell and stuff. So this is like, this is proper
don't get me
pandemic.
Wrong. The start of his reign, Owens and Uso, they were good matches.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was believable. I seem to remember him and Owens kicked the living shit out of each other. It looked real as hell.
Now, this title reign has gone on so long. Do you want to hear who some of his first title reign matches were against?
Go on then.
Obviously,
Goldberg?
No.
No.
So, obviously, this is unfortunately the late Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
He wrestled Daniel Bryan 4 title matches in a row.
Yeah, and he now works for Tony Khan's menagerie.
Yep, he also then wrestled Cesaro for the title.
Who now works for Tony Khan's menagerie.
He wrestled Edge for the title twice.
Who now works for Tony Khan's menagerie.
He wrestled Rey Mysterio.
Are you telling me that Roman Reigns put everyone he wrestled into AEW?
And that's not even the most surprising thing here. He wrestled Rey Mysterio in a Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember this.
Neither do I.
And this wasn't. This was during the pandemic, apparently.
I don't know. I don't think I will be able to be happy at work on Monday morning if Cody doesn't win that title.
Totally agree.
If Cody and Drew don't walk, so Bayley needs to win, Cody needs to win, and Drew needs to win. In fact, I think every single title match, bar Gunther's, needs to have a title change.
No, because Rhea needs to retain.
Okay, fair enough.
Rhea needs to retain.
The majority of the matches, Rhea needs to retain, Gunther needs to retain, the rest of them need to lose their belts.
You know, I'll take the Judgment Day winning 1 set of title belts, as long as they get rid of the 2nd set. Like,
Fuck Damian Priest. Oh my god, Cody wins and Damian cashes in instantly.
You know what? I would take it just so it's not fucking Roman Reigns.
So Roman doesn't have his automatic rematch clause.
Could you imagine?
Right, yeah, we're going right off subject now. Yeah, but anyway, Roman Reigns. Do you know what? I'm going to call it. Roman Reigns is walking out with the world title. Even though I want Cody too, Roman's is walking out with the world title. Simply because it's been going on for so long, I can't put it past them. Especially if The Rock's got involved. And if Roman Reigns walks out with the world title, me and you can hold hands and walk in front of a bus together.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
Actually, I can't do that. I have children. You've got nothing to live for. Sorry. Anyway, that was our 15-minute WrestleMania predictions, which I think's gone on for like an hour and a half.
I can tell you, it is an hour and a half.
And how much of this are you editing onto?
Well, to get this on time for WrestleMania, I'm gonna have to edit it all tonight. So, good thing I'm not slick here. Bye, guys.